it was very
Mm.
useful to be able to have that kind of mentorship relationship as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, well, you'll be pleased to know that I responded to your message whilst I was in Germany as well. So, I think it was through a voice note, wasn't it, to
It
give you
was, yeah.
the real context. And well, I'd like to think that if I was in a situation like that Sunday night, something happening serious on Monday or the next week, and you've got 100 other jobs to do, I never, without having a network around me, I never felt comfortable. Like, it's not something you could talk to your partner about. It's not something you could talk to your kids or your colleagues at work about, because they don't do it. They don't understand this field, this very, very niche specialist field. But being able to share it with someone who's perhaps like me, who's been through a similar situation, and I think in your particular case, it was just this slow unraveling of evidence over a period of years, and your opinions evolving with that. And that happens all the time. But yet the lawyer was trying to hold you to account on the basis that, well, what are you doing, and why are you evolving your opinion? How dare you?
Yeah.
And it's a horrible place to be. I'm glad that we helped you get through that one. Most of it, I guess, was mental, rather than for real, because, as you say, it got called off. How did you feel once you got my voice note?
Yeah, reassured is very helpful actually. And as you rightly say, it's having that safe space to speak to someone because, as you say, it
Mm.
doesn't really sit with any of our other
Mm.
aspects of our work or professional, sometimes family life. So it's very useful.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And this, I think it's problem shared, problem halved type of thing, isn't it? But
Absolutely.
it's who can you share the problem with, that understand your problem. That's few and far between. That was ultimately one of my main drivers for setting up the academy, was people that who have been there, not in the early stages, but are actually maturing their practice. And you're certainly a really good example of that. So life change, style changes. I know it's been a few months since we've put a lot of this stuff into place, but have you noticed any changes to perhaps the way you've approached lifestyle decisions, holidays, cars, houses, whatever it may be? Anything sort of mentally shifted there?
Uh, I've become a bit more mercenary with my time,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, I see. I see.
a little bit less altruistic with a number of extracurricular, if you like, sort of you're a good chap, you can do this for us kind of thing.
Mm.
um, which took a little while to get over.
Oh, wow.
But actually, having spent some time seeing how other industries work and seeing how they value their time has been quite helpful.
Mm.
And at the moment, my children are going through sort of what's called the 11 plus exam stage. They're trying
Mm.
to get to grammar schools at the moment. That kind of thing has taken my priority, but it's been quite nice because by sitting
Yeah.
down and do the reflective work on, to put it bluntly, the money that comes in from the work that I do has helped me decide to rationalise on some of the work that I do clinically when I'm not
Yeah.
doing my NHS job to allow me
Yeah.
to support the other interests and the other family commitments I have without having to sort of cane myself into the ground chasing
Sure.
the cutting because I'm a surgeon. So actually, from that point of view, is really, really liberating. So that's been very helpful.
Yeah. So more control of your overall career in terms of how you exchange your time is now much more in your control than it was before you joined the academy. Is that
Yeah, I think I was probably a
a big
lot more
shift?
reactive before and just firefighting
Yeah.
all the time. Whereas now it's a bit like, well, if I fancy doing this, I'll do that.
Mm.
If I don't fancy doing that, say no, thank you. And again, one thing
Yeah.
I've started doing more of, which I never used to do, so I'm now saying no to instructions I'm
Good.
requested from work that I just don't want to do. And
I
I've gotten
remember we
some,
had that conversation at the beginning when we met, and we said you're going to be saying no, and I could see it in your eyes. You're thinking, I can't say no, but now you're saying no. That's a breakthrough for me. That's amazing, Alan. Thank you.
yeah. So thanks for that as well.
And it's amazing how much you've actually learned how valuable your time is through the membership at the academy. In other words, you've got not only control of your career, but you've actually started to be very disciplined about what you say no to. And a lot of people who've trained me and mentored me in the past have said most of your actual real success um, comes from the discipline of saying no. And the better and faster you can say those no's, the more you advance your career. And you're getting, I guess, the early benefits of that. But I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot more to unfold and to come as a byproduct of having that just just the ability to say no and not feel um, you're cowarding in, or you're feeling guilty about saying no. All of that seems to have dissolved for you. Is that right?
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean,
Getting there, yeah.
getting there.
Got some more work to do then.
Yeah, I still haven't completely become, but but it's been very helpful. It's a
Yeah,
journey. I'm evolving with it, and I think
you're evolving with it. Yeah, and
it's
that's the
working
whole
better for my
point, isn't it?
family. I mean, if you ask my family, they would say I'm
Mm.
definitely more present than I have been. So that's
Oh, that's
huge.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kids, you feel like you're having more quality time
Oh,
with your
very much
kids.
so. Yeah, very much so.
Oh, that's amazing. And would you put that down to the work we've been doing in the academy?
Yeah, well, I'll give you a specific example. So, I mean, I had a sort of recent episode of health condition, vertigo, nothing serious, but enough that as a surgeon I couldn't operate for a bit. So it forced me to sit down and take stock of what I was doing with my time and worked out some numbers and so on and so forth. I realized I was
Mm,
actually flogging myself for very little return, which wasn't
mm,
actually helping the family. So I started saying no to some of the unnecessary extra commitments that I was doing,
mm.
which then meant that, I could take the children to the various activities. I could be present. I wouldn't be catching early morning
Wow.
trains as much. I would, like this morning, I take my son to his water polo training at 7 o'clock in the morning, dropped off at school for, basically the holy grail of seeing your family and do something you enjoy
Yeah.
rather than just doing
Oh,
something that is a bit of a chore because you have to really.
yeah. Yeah, Alan. I mean, that means a lot to me. That was, that particular part of your lifestyle changing is it's profound, and it sounds like it's just the beginning. It sounds like things are going to get better and better as you get more and more control, more and more confidence with your practice. Can't wait to hear. Let's regroup in a few months' time and see where you're at with that.